All right, this piece is going to be a little behind the scenes on Tribal Council, you know, what it looks like in the day when you can actually see it, and how it was built and all that. And one of the biggest disappointments for me about shooting Tribal Council at night is that you never get to see all the details, which are some of the things I wanted to show you. You never see all the little touches, all of the things. These are, you know, these are steps that nobody will ever see because it's the middle of darkness when they get up here, but they matter to us because we know it's all part of the experience. Even things like the finish on these beams. Again, this is something you'll never even end up seeing on the show, but when our guys in our art department build it, everything matters to them. So they build this as though it were a real temple that has been here for thousands of years, and that's the idea and that's the feel that we want people to have. Jesse, you've been on the show since season 1. How does this one rank in terms of tribal councils?
I think it's #1 for me. It's the biggest. It's the realest looking. Inside's beautiful. It's just it's so much to work with the Chinese culture, and I know it took a long time to build, cost a lot of money, but it was definitely one of the most fun projects I've ever done.
What kind of construction materials did it take to build this?
Oh, it was a big one. This took 7 weeks to build with about 75, 80 people, locals, except for one Australian construction manager and a translator. There's about 6 or 7 tons of tiles in it, another 5 ton of concrete holding them on. There's about 20 ton of steel and about 30 ton of timber in just plywood and lumber to build it.
Why is it so important, even looking over your shoulder at the concrete wall here, you age it, everything looks old and authentic. Why 15 seasons in is this still important?
Well, we have to keep it real for the contestants. We have to make the experience real. We want them to walk in, sit down, and actually believe they're in a temple. So we have to do the whole thing. You know, if we're doing a film or a movie, you know, you look that side, it'd just be flats of plywood. But I don't know, you just keep it real, I suppose. Make the whole experience as real as possible for the contestants.
Andy, we're trying to give people a little sneak peek into Tribal Council. You're responsible for all the fire involved with Survivor. Tell me about Tribal's fires.
Well, at this particular location, we have roughly 10 exterior fires, 1 interior center fire, and then we have an accent fire we call a flame bar. It's on the outside.
For me, one of my favorite parts of arriving on location every season is finding out what the snuffer looks like, since that is my weapon of choice. Mark Powell is the designer of all things that are snuffers. Mark, give me the lowdown on this one.
Well, it's the Chinese dragon, and we have a nice jade ball here, which the dragon always has the ball, with the whiskers wrapping around the ball and the smoke from the dragon's breath here.
Again, there's always a lot of detail. After this many seasons, you could show up and slap together something or buy something at a local shop and call it a day, but you never do that. Why?
It's my favorite thing to make, actually, so I like to spend a good couple of weeks making it.
And the person who gets to take it home? Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Jeff.
Now, there's the construction of Tribal Council, which you just saw, but what you aren't seeing at home is this is the one point on Survivor where we actually have a control room, which is similar to other television shows, and that's because we have so many cameras and we have all of the producers who want to sit in and see what everybody's saying. So, thank you, Mr. Kerhofer. This is the Tribal Council control room with our director and assistant director, Dave and Scott, and these are all the cameras. So you can see here, camera 1, camera 2, all your different shots that you have. Which is my camera, Dave?
This is your camera right here.
All right, camera 1, I like it. All right, of course, it's blank. Camera 1 is blank. That's not a good sign 5 minutes before Tribal. All right, we are now just a few minutes away from Tribal Council, so I got to wrap this up. But I just want to say that before every Tribal, I try to remind myself that for the person being voted out, this is the end of their dream. It's the end of their pursuit of $1 million. So regardless what's going on with production or my own life, we always try and bring a level of respect to Tribal Council in honor of the person that's fought so hard to be in this game. All right, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed your tour of Tribal Council for Survivor China.